Welcome to Fourth and John Quarantine Stream Live. It's Sunday dinner with the boys again, talking Eagles like we love to do, right, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing?
Absolutely.
Feeling good, man. You know,
another day in quarantine, man. Another
Yes,
day in quarantine.
Did you?
It was warm enough to go in the pool, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, like Evan, like we're talking offline the other day, and he's like. He never mentioned that he had an in-ground pool. This guy's got a swaggy pool in the backyard.
Oh, word!
Like, for real?
We're living it up. Listen, man, I like to get my laps in privately. You know, we got to have the crew over for a little pool party.
Absolutely, man.
Transformer, bro.
Hey, he holding back?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Evan's holding back on the pool part, man. Damn.
I got to tell you what, man. For like, I know it's kind of an obvious thing, but after you are sweating your ass off, man, and then you just hop in the pool, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it.
Must be nice, man. But be nice. Prime, we heard that you're playing baseball.
Yes, sir. Had my first game of the season today. We ended up winning 10-4. Shout out to the Camden Diamondbacks for doing their thing today.
Now,
yeah,
in order to abide by social distancing, are you guys like tagging the players, or are you just throwing the ball at their back as they're passing?
So based off of our conversation last week, each team has their own baseball. Dude, regardless, people are touching the ball like 40, 50 times.
Yeah. Prime was slapping ass. Prime was slapping
ass. We were still slapping asses and giving high fives in our dugout.
Did it feel like a normal game though, or did it like?
It did. I mean, well, the thing is, the umpires weren't behind the plate; they were actually behind the pitcher's mound.
What?
Yeah, calling balls and strikes from there. That was
from behind the pitcher, like in between second base and the pitcher's mound.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was different to us. And then of course, as like there was times that I was coaching first base, I'll have a mask on. A couple foul balls were hit, and you feel odd because like the ball's right there in front of you, you can't pick it up because it's their ball. So,
yeah.
You'll literally go and ask the umpire like, "Hey, am I allowed to touch the ball?"
Hey, don't ball.
And then so I don't go touch it. I ended up kicking it back to them. It was weird, man. It was weird.
It's good, Jason.
Jason, what's up?
I mean, I really do. I really knew much, man. I just been chilling in, just northern PA. Did a little hiking. Was in a stream.
See any more wildlife?
It was in a stream. I did.
No more wildlife.
Got my
pregnant snakes.
A little bit.
You who you with?
The family, just relaxing.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. Yeah, because I mean, nowadays a lot of these people who go out and do this hiking for the first time aren't prepared. I just want to make sure you're with somebody.
You got any?
Not trying to die out here, okay?
You got any decent terrain out there, Gail? I mean, I go a little bit over here in Jersey, but everything is so damn flat, man. Like there's just all it is just like weeds and trees, and like it's cool that there's a little woods trail, but like there's nothing to it. It's just walking through the woods. Like I'm 14 years old. I'm gonna go find a hiding spot to go smoke some pot.
Good stuff. You got good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
You got the truth, though, man.
JT wants to know how many homers you're expecting this season, Prime.
Oh man, listen, JT. Believe it or not, bro. My goal maybe this year. Nah, don't put me on the spot. Don't do that. I'm a contact hitter, man. It happens when it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? So I can't.
But you can't be built like that and be a contact hitter, bro.
Nah, you can, man. You can. Stop. Don't go talking your shit. All right.
See, I was the leadoff.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, so
obviously the conversation of the night, man. There was the big news. I mean, recently, if you were just having a good time this weekend, you got this bomb just dropped. Baldinger bomb.
A Baldinger bomb.
Here in
A Woj bomb that dropped the other day.
About big news coming this week. Birds could get a lot better in mid-July Baldy breakdowns.
And I just checked my calendar, and it is currently mid-July, which means that should be happening any moment now.
we're mid-July, so I mean
we are mid-July
this week. You know?
That's a really, really spicy post that Baldinger put out there. And he, like me and Gail, we were discussing before the show. He's not really a guy to like you know that there's writers out there that go out there, they put the clickbait material out there. Baldy in the past has not been one of those guys that just put something out there to gain some traction. So when he drops something, and considering his affiliation with the team and all of the people that he knows, it really has some teeth to it when he says something like that. You guys agree?
He's not normally the guy that's looking for clout. I mean, he's very connected with the Eagles, a well-respected dude. It's interesting that he drops this tidbit. I believe he's out at the O-line mastermind thing, Lane Johnson's event. So if he was out there with Lane Johnson, and we get some inside scoop, could it be? Could it be a liner?
Could be,
because that's very interesting. JT Evans, our man is saying, is Zach Ertz with Julian?
Wow.
Come on, are we doing that now?
It would break the ground, man.
But you guys are right though. I mean, news coming from Baldy. You know, I mean, this time of the year for somebody that's quiet throughout most of the season, like most of the off season, it's something serious behind it. So I'm just excited as you guys to hear what's going on.
Now, I'm gonna send this chat. I'm gonna send this question to the chat as well. But you guys on the show, who's the guy that you initially thought of when you saw that Baldy tweet?
Yeah, first name that came to mind for me, personally. Let me pull him up real quick. It's a guy that he's a very polarizing person within Philip. Why can't I find him now? This man that a lot of people think he was the main reason that the Eagles season ended last year when he took out Carson Wentz. That was the first guy that came to my mind when I thought I see, he's a major name that's still out there floating around. The price point is what everybody is kind of talking about, but out of if I look between him, Jamal Adams, and Yannick Ngakoue, does he not have the smallest number between those big three that he would be demanding? And for me, Howie Roseman is a guy who continually, year after year, he loves making a big splash play, getting a big splash player in the offseason. He loves owning the limelight and bringing a guy in there that everybody talks about. I mean, that's something I've noticed in my years of Eagles fandom.
I mean,
a lot of people are saying Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the chat is all spiced up with Clowney droplets here and there.
I personally thought it was.
What about you, Prime? You said
I thought it was Yannick. I thought it was Yannick. From Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not I'm not bought on the Clowney, man, because yes, he hurt my quarterback. I don't care.
Oh, come on.
See, is that what you're hung up on? We need to have a therapy session for all the Eagles fans that are going to be butthurt about Clowney wearing the midnight green, man. We got football is a violent sport. All right. You know what? I don't even want to.
At the end of the day, you'll learn to get around and accept it. But as of right now, no.
I'm looking at it realistically as an Eagles fan. I see so many posts out there on Twitter where people are talking about, how is Wentz going to react when Clowney enters the locker? You think he cares? He's got a dominant defender on his team now. That's what he cares about. And Clowney is 2 for 2 on injuring Eagles quarterbacks in the link. Gail, is that not the guy that you would want on your side doing it for the other team? I mean, he can't hurt your team if he's
that's
on
my
it.
stat, man. That's my stat. When people are like,
that's Gail Saunders' original.
Jadeveon Clowney. I'm like, for real? I mean, the dude, last time he was here, he hurt Wentz. The time before that, he hurt Nick Foles. You're talking about a guy who's a game changer with the defensive tackles that we have. He would be a menace to society, bro.
That D-line would be out of this world. There's so many guys on that D-line that could draw double teams at that point.
Well, and also if he's lowering his price, then now we're talking.
Okay, so here's a question for you. We pick up Clowney. That's the news. Clowney comes. You gonna forget about Derek Barnett?
What do you mean forget about him? He's a rotational guy at that point.
Nah, I don't want to hear Derek Barnett come out your mouth no more.
I mean,
this guy's Derek Barnett.
If Derek Barnett wasn't, they picked up his fifth.
And his assistant people.
Obviously, if they picked up his fifth-year option, he means something to the Eagles.
Nah, you're right.
So now, if you're looking at, he's the rotational depth piece. Yeah, do they believe in Jannard Avery? Is Josh Sweat exactly what they're looking for? They see a future. But if you're looking at forward, Brandon Graham being out.
Yeah, listen. I mean,
if Brandon Graham's out next year, you're gonna have to bring another younger piece into the puzzle.
Yeah, 100%. All bullshit aside, Clowney getting put onto the team is really gonna put our defensive line at like
a different level. Yeah. The other end
Brandon
of it
Graham
that people are talking about.
Javon Hargraves, Fletcher Cox, and Jadeveon Clowney. That's it. That's incredible.
It really is. That's like they get to the quarterback quick, no matter who's out there.
I mean, you could have some bullshit linebackers behind that front four, and as long as
that's exactly what we got.
I don't give a damn.
The other side of it is, though, that people have been talking about, kind of tongue in cheek, is what if all this and the big announcement is just that they're bringing Jason Peters back? What's going to be the level of deflation in you guys if that's the big announcement?
Womp womp.
I mean, and then all of a sudden, we're expecting like really big news, and then all of a sudden, boom. Jason Peters just rolling up to camp. Oh, look at him. Swagged out.
I'm here for that contract.
OG. Yeah, buddy. I mean, that would be you're getting a important piece to the offensive line. We just lost Brandon Brooks. He knows the offensive line. He knows the players. He knows the routine here. He's been there, done that. Leader in the locker room. Are you guys would not be excited about this?
No, I wouldn't be excited at all. Just be, hey, welcome back. You're going to be a big piece to the line that we just lost in Brandon Brooks. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, moving on.
There's nothing like, there's no like enormous upside to it where Jason Peters is at a point in his career, and obviously everybody's thankful for everything he's done in his tenure as an Eagle. That's undeniable. But his ceiling isn't that high at this point. As a 37, 38-year-old man, you can only expect so much out of him. Whereas if you add an additional piece that's a young kid like a Yannick Ngakoue, I know that Jamal Adams is not exactly a young kid, but he's got some gas left in the tank. If you bring in somebody like that provides potential for something to really make that position explode as far as depth, that would make people excited. Aged tackle that jumps false start every other play. That's not exactly anything that's too exciting.
Now, coming in from AZ, our homie joined us last week for the stream. Gave us really great content, so we're bringing him back for another week. Shout out to Tim Kincaid over at AZ.
What up, bro?
What's good? Fellas? What's going on?
Complete is in the house.
Appreciate it. What's going on, man?
So the topic we're talking about potential, players for this big news right now.
Right.
We just talked about Jadeveon Clowney. We talked about Jason Peters. I guess the other guy that I want to talk about is Yannick. I mean, I feel like if you're talking about a younger piece, right? He's in 25. You're talking about
Yeah.
signing him to multiple years. He could want a little bit more than we want, or he could make a deal for us. The Eagles were in talks about bringing him in on a trade before the draft. It didn't work out. A lot of things were going on down there. If you think about long-term piece, he could be a potential player.
Absolutely.
That's
definitely fair.
Most definitely. I was hearing.
I mean, if you're going short term,
backstage, and I was hearing everybody saying their piece about the excitement when Baldy said gave us a link, and as Eagles fans, and you guys have the platform to bring everybody together. The first person I thought of was either Yannick, Clowney, but I understand what you guys are saying with the whole offensive line. Mine is a JP. I think it's defensive line, guys. I really think it is. I think it's defensive line.
How does that make you feel?
Yes.
How does that make you feel deep down?
I told my wife, I said, listen, and he hurt my quarterback. I was there at that game, okay? Sitting next to Gail. Me and Gail, we was front row, right, Gail?
Yeah.
Yeah, we was front row. I told my wife, I said, if we get Javion Clowney, I'm running in my neighborhood. They're going to see a 6'2", 270-pound black man just running down the damn street. Like, I'm going to go wild. Because you think at it, man, what we just talked about last week, you build your team through the trenches.
Absolutely.
And that piece right there,
Key.
with Brandon Graham, Hargraves, Cox.
Yeah, Malik Jackson coming back. Everybody.
You got Malik coming off the bench. Like, come on, son. Like
the rotations, like, love it. The rotations you'd be able to get in the different combinations of players out there. It really doesn't matter who will be out there. Everybody is just like, anybody on that defensive line would have the ability to pop off at any given moment because there's so much protection that's being allocated to these other players that, like, if you got to double team Fletcher Cox and he's next to Jadeveon Clowney, what do? You got to pick and choose. Who are you going to stop? It's a lose-lose.
You got to worry about the NASCAR package.
Yeah,
because the NASCAR package is way different. We can have Malik on the outside. And that's not even counting. Imagine if this happens. I'm gonna put another name out there, and I don't want to make the hype, but I just want to put another name out there. Imagine if we get Clowney or Yannick, and then you go get Curry.
Vinny Curry.
Imagine that defensive line. Like, imagine that. Imagine like just look at the starting line. That's an all-star team right there on your defensive line.
Vinny doesn't have the same juice as a Jadeveon.
What'd you say? You said Vinny? You said Vinny?
Yeah, I love Vinny. Don't disrespect Vinny. You bugging, yo.
No, I'm not. No disrespect.
Great last year, yo. Y'all be bugging, man.
Wow. Bugging. Hold on, JT coming in from the top rope. I'd like an explanation on that. Is that like? Do a lot of people feel that way? I feel the opposite.
I feel like Jan. If you're talking long term, I go Jan.
Long term.
If you're talking about quick fix,
right?
Yeah. I agree with that.
You also forget about you forget about Malik Jackson being here. So I mean, you have Jackson who can play defensive end as well.
Always mention Malik Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm just like
this is my thing.
Is Malik gonna be here?
No, because you're saying like Malik Jackson can also play defensive end as well.
Yeah,
you can move him out.
NASCAR package. You.
So I mean, if you got Malik, do you need Vinny? Do you need Vinny if you got Malik?
That's what I'm saying, though. Imagine that. Listen, this is the thing. As a defensive lineman, I see. Here you go. You are something else. You know that. You were grinding my gears with that. Okay?
Daryl said Yannick is like my size.
Go ahead.
Let me explain. So, think about it. As a defensive lineman, you're going head-to-head with big men all game. And when you have guys that can just, all right, yo, we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on going. You have the substitution. You have the 6 man. Think of it as a basketball term. You have your 6 man, your 7th man. Remember back in the day, Herm is probably older than you. Okay, so remember those Showtime Lakers, right? Remember the Showtime Lakers? Remember when they had that star-studding 5, and then they had James Worthy coming off the bench?
I'm just gonna nod my head.
You know what I'm saying? You have that. Thanks, Herm. You have that type of. Yo, Gil, you killing me. Can I do your phone? Hey, but like,
we're moving up.
You have a 6 man. You have somebody that's not tired. He's gonna go at the next person, and they have the same. I'm gonna get at the quarterback and eat it up. Hey, listen. First of all, Gail was hitting me up. Okay, Gail was hitting me up with all the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
What if we get Michael Bennett back? Hell
no, we're good.
Well, the thing that I don't get with Clowney is people who hate on Clowney. I mean, the guy he's a talented dude. If you get him fired up, I feel like, does this bother you? I mean, I think this is what bothers people. Where is it at here? It was a bang play. I don't intend to hurt anybody in this league. Let me just put that out there. I've been down the injury road. It's not fun. My intention was not to hurt him. I was just playing fast. Later in the interview, Clowney anticipated some backlash for his hit. There might be death threats, he said. Clowney also said that fans who attend Eagles games are the worst fans in the world.
Love it. That's my guy.
He's one of us. He's one of us. Like, I don't understand it.
Well, like at the end of the day, I don't care. Like I know Eagle fans are difficult.
You expect me to accept that?
I'm trying to explain this in the simplest way possible. Like, I totally understand in the immediate reaction why you hated Jadeveon Clowney, but like, if you take a step back and you switch the roles, and it was Brandon Graham, and he put Russell Wilson in the dirt and took him out of the game, and that helped us win that game. Would we be coming after Brandon Graham thinking he's the worst person imaginable? It's a football play. It's what happens in football.
Hell yeah. I would come at Brandon just for
play.
that. On why you didn't do it anytime sooner.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the reason why we're Eagle fans.
I think Eagle fans will forget about Paul made a good point. I think people will forget about what he did to Wentz when they see him wearing the Eagles jersey.
What's up, nephew?
Are you babysitting and doing the show at the same time?
Multitasking.
We kissing babies and signing autographs. That's what we do, man.
We're gonna have to put you and your son in the bathroom at the same time.
He don't like that.
Jack Shrink's thinking that nothing. No big name free agents until days before the deadline. I don't see that happening. We got something spicy coming down the pipeline.
Now, if you don't, you make that point. Now, if you say no big name free agents, if we're going to go that route right now,
okay,
baby, come back.
Oh,
LeSean McCoy. LeSean McCoy. That would be the lower tier option for the Eagles to bring back. I wouldn't really excite.
I just want to let y'all know. That's my man, $50,000 and all. I don't care.
Oh,
if he come back,
man.
I'm putting my jersey back on. I don't care. $50,000. That's my man. $50,000. Full flat tires on a Cadillac. We go back.
Man, stop your shit, man. He's done. All right.
Probably will understand this analogy. Like if
see, he didn't like that, man.
Put him in the bathroom. Get him out of here. Put him in the bathroom.
Nah,
I feel like that would be like
wait. No, Kincaid, you had the inside scoop on the LeSean McCoy news to the Eagles before anyone I talked to. You were the first person that told me about LeSean McCoy before any news outlet.
When was this? Can we clarify for the rest of us?
I reached out to Gail. March? Gail?
It was early. It was
real early. So I want to just back up my story. So I work with a girl that LeSean McCoy had a baby with her sister, and she
Carry the one.
Yeah.
It always starts with that.
Carry the one. Right. And she has good resources. She actually got me an autograph signed LeSean McCoy jersey. She knows him, and he really wants to come back to Philadelphia. The thing is, though, he wants to come back to Philadelphia, do 2 years, so he can go into the Hall of Fame. But the problem is, the Philadelphia Eagles don't want a 2-year; they want a 1-year deal. So I guess that might be the main reason why he hasn't signed yet. But I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Suburban.
I mean, personally, like, and I don't want to sound too harsh. I feel like if we brought back Shady McCoy, that would be like the Phillies bringing back Chase Utley right now. Like, I feel like it's just the time's over. Like, I think that there's other options that we could, like, if we were to, I would rather bring in a guy like a Raheem Mostert than a Shady McCoy right now. A guy with some more upside, and like for Raheem, like he's in a situation right now with two other running backs. And what does that say?
Don't pay attention to the D. Don't pay attention to the D.
Yeah, but I just think that Raheem Mostert at this point in his career has more of an upside to than Shady.
Oh, Dash Frank.
Oh, most definitely.
Speaking into existence.
My thing is this, though. My thing is with McCoy. He averaged more yards with a ball carrier. But as we have Miles is something like a McCoy. We need somebody that's going to put that pound to that rock and give us a couple of yards. I like Boston Scott as, you know, somebody that is a change of a pace of running back, but I want somebody that's a pounder. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I think Mostert would be great. But what are you going to give up for Mostert? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to give up to the 49ers?
Right.
I mean,
Malik Jackson.
Carl makes a good point from Facebook. He says Baldy states that the player will make the team better, not a backup. And then again, he's coming from the O-line event with. You start to think about players that
I can think of one in particular.
We need a right guard
that could be maybe courted by his brother.
But
come out of retirement.
Been released because he's still under contract with the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
So,
who's
the other guy that have? We have Joe Clowney from the.
Was he in Arizona? He was here in Arizona, right?
No, he's with the Patriots.
I know he's with the Patriots, but I'm saying I think he's on negotiating with Arizona. They need a guard.
Is he? There's also Larry Warford. Larry Warford.
Is that with or without the COVID?
Yeah, I mean, guard is ever since Brandon Brooks went down. Guard is obviously another one of those positions that we really need to address before this season starts.
That's going to make the team better.
Yeah.
100%.
We need depth at guard.
But the thing, like you guys pointed on, though, Baldy doesn't make announcements or speculations like he does.
Yeah, so for him to come out right now with something like this, it's got to be something big.
It better be big, man. It has to be something big.
Yeah, it better be big, man.
Dash Frank is talking about Driscoll. I mean, I feel like all these – look, we got a lot of project guys towards the end of the draft. That's still like the I mean, I don't know much about Jack Driscoll, but I also know that, you know, we've still got guys like Jordan Mailata, who's probably in his last experimental year. And there's a lot of guys that, you know, it ultimately could end up working out. If Jack Driscoll ends up contributing to the offensive line, great. But you can't just rely on the fact that it's definitely going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I think you have Matt Pryor who showed a little something, but I obviously they know they have to protect their investment in Carson Wentz. You got to get
It's
some.
the most important thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's much
I mean,
more
I
important.
just saw us.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I think it's much more important to really make sure that you have Carson Wentz stay healthy than to like take a flyer and see if a offensive lineman is worth what you think he is, and you know what I mean, and put Carson in that exposed. And now that we, with COVID, they took what was it, weeks 2 and 3 out of the preseason, so now we just have 1 and 4, or vice versa. Regardless,
is it just 2 preseason?
Well, regardless, we have 2 preseason.
Yeah, I think it's 1. I think it's 1 and 4. I think you're right, Evan. It's 1 and 4, and they got rid of 2 and 3.
Yeah. So regardless,
I'm not understanding.
But see, that's hard.
I'm not
though.
understanding
like,
that.
how are you going to evaluate talent to a certain extent? You know what I'm saying?
But,
like that's going to.
No, I totally
very
understand.
hard.
But everybody is coming into the season on a fair playing field. Where everybody had 2 preseason games. You know what I mean? So I agree with you that how are you supposed to evaluate it? But nobody knows. It's toss up for everybody.
Well,
right.
I mean, you think they might want a veteran there, but that Shrek made a good point. He said you got to think about the salary cap. Now, looking at the salary cap, the Eagles, they got 24 mil plus. You got to think that they'd like to move some of that money over to next season, but this is very odd for the Eagles to have this much money. I could understand, saving some money to roll over. Months I've been saying that there's one move left in the tank for this team.
How much money do you think is left to sign the remaining rookies that we drafted? 8 mil-ish?
No, we got enough for the rookies.
But I'm saying if you subtract the money that we're still going to owe the rookies for their contracts, how much money do you think we'll have after that point? 16 mil? In that ballpark?
You probably have
more than that. More than that.
More than that?
More than that. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. Let's see.
I think
I
just want to stay focused on what we got right now, what we know of right now. I think if we feed into this so much, it's just gonna be upsetting. You know what I mean? Just to hear that all we're gonna do is just re-sign Jason Peters.
Yeah,
that's it.
You think we're setting ourselves up for a letdown?
We are, man. We are, bro.
But
I saw this other name in.
That's such a familiar feeling.
We died for that.
I saw another name in the chat. Someone mentioned Logan Ryan. How would you guys feel about No,
I'm good. No, I'm good. He's a slot. He's not outside. He's a slot.
Not with that forehead.
Quarterback.
He's better at the slot. You know that. He's better at the slot. He's not no outside. No. But we gotta give our young bulls. We gotta give our young bulls a chance. We gotta give them a chance.
What's going on, Sidney?
We have to give the young bulls a chance. You gotta give Sidney a chance.
No, I mean that move would make sense for me. I think it's more about getting trenches. It's either offensive line or defensive line. Defensive end.
What I would like though, what I would like.
He's a local guy, Logan Ryan.
Yeah. He is a local guy.
Grew up in the town right next to me.
I would like a linebacker. That's what I would like. I would like to have a guaranteed veteran linebacker. And I'm not gonna say no names. I don't want nobody getting on my head, but I would like a linebacker. Okay.
You got to speak it into existence, though.
Which linebacker?
Yeah, who you got in mind?
No, I'm not saying that because I don't want nobody on my.
Yeah. White Snake.
There we go. Get on process.
I'm good. Listen, if we get that defensive line set up, the White Snake is going to have a monster year.
Really, if we add an additional star piece to this defensive line, it really doesn't matter who's going to be on that second layer. If we've got a elite defensive line and an elite secondary, that middle can be a little bit soft, but the rest of the players are going to make up for that, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, it's not an
Totally.
ideal situation. You want a well-rounded team, but if you have two, right. I mean, do you think our defensive secondary right now is elite though? I mean, we got Darius Slay, but like our safety position is very questionable.
I mean, I think they can contend. You know what I mean? I feel like they can. You know, they have McLeod to hang on in the back end. You know, who's going to be that guy to like step up and replace? You're not going to replace Malcolm Jenkins, but you're going to need a guy that I think Mills can give you something. I don't know what he's going to give us, but he'll give you something. But if you have a front line like that, I think it's going to be tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the problem I run into. That's the problem I run into. It depends on how the defensive line is going to run. I would love to have a veteran linebacker just to ensure it up. A sure tackler.
Nigel Bradham's still out there.
Somebody that has experience and be able to read an offense. I'm gonna put one name out there, and I don't want nobody to kill me, but I will like Clay Matthews, veteran. He can teach. He can understand.
He's a defensive end though.
Clay Matthews, not
really?
a defensive end.
Oh, he's a linebacker in a 3-4, but you know what I mean.
But I'm saying though, but we need somebody that like experience to
this is who we need.
Everything Griffin would be dope.
This
so
is
I ain't gonna lie.
Everything Griffin is the guy I don't want.
Yeah, he's a guy that's definitely not talked about enough.
Yeah,
that dude is
he's
an
not talked
absolute
about.
animal, man.
Shout out to Sam, by the way, because I feel like this guy's the more underrated player. He's a veteran presence. He'll probably come cheaper than a Clowney, and then he'll come cheaper than a Yannick. And if you're going to go 1-year deal, he's a potential guy, and he's probably going to want to play for a winner.
And icing on the cake, you might get some Vikings fans to cry. Another positive. Always love when that happens.
We love
salty mofos.
Yo, for real.
How about OJ Simpson?
Hey, put schoolboy in the bathroom. Put him in the bathroom. Put him in the bathroom. Put him in the jaw. Put him in the jaw.
Yeah.
Griffin would be a nice pickup.
He would definitely be a nice pickup.
And
but
while we're on,
I feel like we need a linebacker, man. I feel like we need somebody to guide and lead. We got some young bulls on the team, man, and we just need to just guide and lead.
Yeah,
we have guys
White
on
Snake.
the team that have talent. We have Bradley. What's the other? Colorado. I can never say Colorado.
We got the White Snake.
You got Taylor? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. We need some guys to lead them, man. We need veterans to lead them. But
we have
as
the
Brian
White
said,
Snake.
the White Snake will be able to lead them. So we're in good hands, right?
Yeah. What of
Can't hear you, Evan.
sorry.
I can't hear you, Aaron.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all dudes sound like Transformers right now. Y'all might want to fix all your mics.
We're good. Maybe it might be on your end. All right, buddy.
Your end.
No.
That sound good.
Stop stealing from your neighbor's Wi-Fi and just, we'll
Son,
put me in the bathroom.
But anyway, as long as I'm coming in clear, while we were on the topic of money, you guys wanted to discuss the big story that was earlier this week, the $500 million man in Patrick Mahomes. How about that contract?
Man.
How about that deal?
What's up, Gail? What do you want to say?
You don't want to go.
You put yourself in the
Your
bathroom?
audio messed up.
He put himself in the bathroom?
He's saying all of our audio is messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Me? What about me?
Sorry, technical difficulties.
How about now?
Do I sound like a Transformer?
To me,
Oh,
everybody
you
sounds
sound
fine.
Everybody
sounds fine to me.
It's you.
Wow.
It's you, buddy.
That's why I tried to put myself in the bathroom, man.
Gail, if you have you hit the driving range yet, Gail? The people want to know.
Gail's went golfing.
Golf? Who? Yo. I mean, golf
Watch what you say. Watch what you say.
Game, I guess.
Watch what you say.
But
We got a lot of golfers. We got a lot of golfers.
Let's do that golf.
Don't say anything about the
golfers. Yo, D, it's real, bro. That's actually going on.
How about my boy going golfing and breaking the club on the first drive?
What's that? Oh, Jose Canseco. Yeah. My man doesn't know his own strength.
It wasn't my mic.
Told you.
My headphones were like jacked up.
Oh, all right.
Crying wolf.
Now put yourself in the bathroom.
Say you're sorry.
Y'all sounded like storm screams. I was like, yo, man.
Joke's on you.
I was sitting there like, oh, man, I can't even hear myself.
No, but yo, seriously, that Patrick Mahomes contract probably ruined the game for so many people, man. Oh my god.
Because Jerry Jones is like, damn.
Yeah.
Please sign Dak to that $10,400,000. I don't give a damn. Please.
Somebody said Dak is out there asking for 19 years for $1 billion.
Man, it like that number really blew me away. But what was crazy was I forget. I should have pulled it up, but there was someone that did a breakdown, and they talked about Brett Favre's contract back in, I think it was the early 2000s, the extension that he got, and how it ended up actually sucking up 18.75% of the salary cap, and that seemed like this huge astronomical contract at the time. And this exact same contract takes up 18.75% of salary cap. It's like the same exact, just inflated.
Championships did Brett Favre win?
One. Yeah. Pat's already got his.
Hey, when I seen that contract, I was like, yo, Howie's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
No, for real. When he was able to cash in on Wentz, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, but like, if I'm looking at it realistically from Kansas City's perspective, honestly, I really don't think it was a bad deal. Like, I think he's like the best quarterback in the league. You lock down the best quarterback in the league. Yeah.
If you guys want to feel old, if you guys want to feel really old, you mean Steph Curry's daughter is the highest paid quarterback in the league right now. For real. For real. I think he's worth every penny. I feel like he's if you're looking at quarterbacks and building a roster around a player, like he is the prototypical player to build around. Like now every team is looking for a player of his caliber.
He's got talent falling out of his pockets, man.
How much of that was guaranteed again?
From here on out,
477, I think.
Draft brilliant.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put the right amount of weapons around Mahomes from here on out. They're going to have to. Because 2 to 3 years, you're going to have to get rid of Tyreek Hill because he just signed a contract, but it was a 3-year contract. Then you're going to after this, Sammy Watkins is done. Robinson done.
Yeah. You better hope Mecole Hardman's the real thing.
Exactly. You're going to have to draft like the Packers did back in the early 2000s. You're going to have to draft the right players at the right time.
Yeah, I was wrong. It was 141 guaranteed. Thank you, Sam.
Seed in their franchise. That's it.
Yo, Patrick is going to be throwing to himself.
Well, if he can throw no-look passes, I'm pretty sure he probably can throw to himself.
But the thing about having Mahomes,
with the baseball run he does.
Shimmy, yeah.
The thing about having Mahomes is a guy of his caliber. Players are going to want to play for the Chiefs. They'll take deals. Right. Look at Sammy Watkins. He took a deal. He could have went elsewhere, but he was like, "Yo, I'm staying with Mahomes. It's going to be fun. Their offense is going to put up like 40 plus a game. Right. Why would I?
Watkins like I'm going to play like 10 games because I get injured, and I'm gonna still win a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, like straight up.
Yo,
Straight up.
you see this question right here that Low Key's putting up. The crazy part about that, man, is that's why that contract that Mahomes got might have messed it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be hard for these two guys right here on the board, Lamar and Watson. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, all jokes aside.
I don't know if either of them end up making that same amount of money. I don't know. I think that Mahomes is like not only super well rounded but exceptional in every single aspect of the quarterback position. Where I think that like
as well,
Lamar Jackson draws a lot of people drew a lot of comparisons to Michael Vick. I don't think he's got the arm that Michael Vick has. Not saying that he won't grow and work on and develop that arm later down in his career, but as of right now, he's still a developing player. Where Mahomes, I feel like he's at the pinnacle, and his pinnacle can still get higher, and that's what you're paying for.
Bro, Mahomes' ceiling is just going to go through the roof.
Yeah,
but he's already proven himself because he's won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to win Super Bowls first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He delivered. So that's the reason why he got that contract. Deshaun's not going to get that, but Deshaun will get somewhere close to it. I think Deshaun's going to get like a 300 if the Texans are down with it.
Yeah,
but I feel like Deshaun Watson is a franchise quarterback.
100%.
Lamar.
You're not sold?
I'm sold on Lamar.
Yeah,
but he's Michael Vick Atlanta. He's Michael Vick Atlanta.
Yeah, I got you.
Once he gets hit, he gonna feel it, and then he'll understand. You gotta get your ass out of bounds. That you know what I'm saying? So I think Lamar will get his money because he's a video game.
Yeah,
in my opinion, he's cheat code.
He really is in Madden too. That dude was a legit cheat code this year in Madden.
He's cheat code.
Yeah,
he's cheat code. I ain't never seen somebody run full speed and do a 360 spin in real life football.
Yeah,
and make it look like it was. I ain't never seen shit like that in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Now the chat has spoken.
They're bittering amongst themselves, man.
Is Jackson a better leader than Vick? Jackson ain't better than Vick. Stop it. Okay.
Stop that. You got to be young. You got to be young to say something like that.
Jackson is better than Vick.
He won on the cover of 2004, man, yo.
I'm not ready to say Jackson is better than Vick at all.
No, I'm not ready to say Jackson's better than Vick neither.
Absolutely not. No. Seasons? Come on, now.
All right.
I think Jackson right now is the better team leader because we know Vick. He didn't even study. Like Vick was doing his own thing and still winning, but in his own way. But I think as a leader, there's a difference from Atlanta leadership to Philadelphia leadership. Philadelphia leadership, he had a Caucasian wide receiver say the N-word, and he was like, "Yo, we're gonna ride with him. We're gonna protect him. He's gonna ride with us." Do you think Lamar would do that in Baltimore?
I mean, regardless of what your thoughts are on that situation, that was Mike Vick being a big person and being a leader and being somebody that
we're comparing them as
rookies. With Chip Kelly.
We're comparing them as rookies.
We can all agree with that, right?
Yo, Michael Vick got locked up prior to that. We're talking about as rookies. Lamar as a rookie to Vick as a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare them that way, it gets more even. But I mean, it's hard not to think about Vick's entire career when you watched it.
I can't say one is more better than the other. I could see that. I could see Mike Vick in Lamar Jackson. That's what I saw. Mike Vick in Lamar Jackson.
The way he's electrifying is the same.
Yes, he used his feet. That's exactly the same way Vick did coming into the league. You know what I mean? He put his Madden traits out on the real field. That's exactly how he, how he played the game. Now, agreeing with Tim, when he came to Philadelphia, he grew up. He became more mature. He became more of a leader. The 1 year being in prison changed him. You know what I mean? He came into the league, different aspect, and I felt like his arm, his accuracy, his being more in the was way better. Way better.
Dude, he had the most effortless sling of the ball with just 80 yards, just like that, man.
I'm using the right hand. I shoot the left.
Yeah.
You would just look forward to see who was going to go through.
Dude, he had a cannon.
Look at this guy.
Oh, man.
Hey.
How you doing?
What up? I'm doing all right. Glad to be here. Hey, what up?
Where do you stand on the first of all, we want to get your opinion on the Mahomes deal. Worth it?
Yeah, I mean, he's like Evan, you just said he's the best quarterback right now, I think. And the fact that the Chiefs locked him in for 10 years is besides the money's already ridiculous. I mean, now I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you think there's a loser in that deal?
No.
The Chiefs or Mahomes?
Not right now, no. Because I mean, as long as Andy Reid's there and Mahomes is there, and the key to the success is they gotta find. They still have to continue to find playmakers for Mahomes, And as long as they keep doing that, the Chiefs are going to be in contention as long as Mahomes is there. So,
all right.
We'll see.
And now we got to launch you into the fiery debate that's going on in the comments section, where we are discussing Lamar Jackson versus Michael Vick. Your thoughts, Mr. P for P?
I still think Lamar Jackson has a lot to prove. I don't think he has the arm talent that Michael Vick has, for one. But we'll see. We'll see how Lamar Jackson does this year. Obviously, he was playing he looked like a superhero, out there. But we'll see how he does this year with film on him. And
exactly.
See how with defenses that can adjust to him and play to his weaknesses. Yeah. We'll see how he reacts to that. We saw with Michael Vick, and Michael Vick found a way to still be electric out there. Let's see if Lamar Jackson can do the same.
Yeah.
Bro, think about it though, man. Like Michael Vick was like Allen Iverson on the field. Think about it.
Like playing style. Yeah, I got what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? His playing style. You couldn't take your eyes off the field. Like, man, I remember, I'm a hip hop head, right? And dudes on hip hop were writing lyrics about I refuse to cut my hair like Michael Vick. That was like one of the hardest lines I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Vick was dope, bro.
He was the poster child for like just that electrifying football player. Like he was he was the exciting guy in the league for a while.
Yeah. He was Allen Iverson.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the one guy on Madden you wanted to be every play. You just ran the ball with him on Madden. That's all you had to do.
Oh,
exactly.
We do have video. We do have video of we
had NFL Blitz with Michael Vick.
We do have video of Michael Vick speaking with Lamar Jackson.
Yo, fast.
He's passing the torch, man.
He's passing the torch. It all
depends
on how well the kid, handles that torch.
You got the juice now.
I think Puka hit on it real good, man. Now that there's more film on this kid, now that there's more ways to go ahead and play him, is he going to be able to still play the game like how Mike Vick did? That's all. So, time is going to tell if he's only going to get better or it's going to end up kicking him in the ass.
I mean, Mike Vick, for as elusive, like the type of play style where he was constantly breaking out and running up the field, it's kind of a miracle he didn't end up getting injured, like the same way like an RG3 did, and RG3 like his knees got destroyed. But I'm saying that
Herm,
go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt, Herm, but you saying that we're all Eagles fans, right? Mm-hmm. When we first seen RG3, what did we think? We were like, damn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This man can throw. He's an athlete. He can just.
He was a guy that had potential to own our division, man. Come on. Yeah. You got like when he first popped on the scene.
Gail, you don't even got to throw her up there. You can just make the face yourself, bro.
And I was like, damn, like, yo, like, we honestly have a point where. Are the Redskins going to come back? But then we have to see the potential. We have to see where Lamar's going to be at.
Yeah.
So we just have to sit and wait. I think I was getting to that point, Mister. I'm gonna throw you in the bathroom.
I think with Lamar Jackson, I think in the RG3 thing, like RG3, once he got injured, the mobility and his speed was like
that was it.
a big part of his game. So if Lamar gets injured, I think that could affect his growth.
Oh no!
Poor RG3 on the Browns, man.
We don't want Lamar. You don't want Lamar doing the stanky leg. I think we all picture that.
You remember RG3's stint with the Browns? It might have been one game, but first game was versus the Eagles.
First game he played against the Eagles.
Dude, that was like our defensive line was on a different level that year. I know he was checking that out, and he's like, "Geez, this is my comeback right now."
Bro, but think about it. Yo, guess who the star wide receiver was? It was Pryor.
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor. Yeah.
Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor was the
that experiment never really it worked for a little bit, but like what he played wide receiver at a good level for like a season, maybe two.
Hey! Remember though, a lot of Eagle fans was crying and screaming for Terrell Pryor.
They wanted him, man.
To Philadelphia and sign him, and the Eagles, man, that was a good not signing right there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now we're talking about one Jackson. There's another Jackson. DeSean Jackson. We went 56 minutes. We went 56 minutes without talking about DeSean Jackson. I feel like
it's time.
Is it? I mean, I just want to. We got a group of diehard Eagle fans here in the chat on the show right now. I mean, now do you guys feel like, obviously, whatever DeSean was trying, we all know he made a mistake. We all know it was a dumb-headed mistake. Quoting Hitler is, to start off anything, is a dumb move. I don't know exactly, because I'm not DeSean, what he was trying to say, but I can kind of think what he was trying to uplift and say, but missed the mark by by a mile.
He missed the free throw. The airball the free throw.
Do we think, as of right now, Jeffrey Lurie, the organization, he's getting penalized. They didn't say exactly what he's getting penalized at. Obviously, it could be monetary. He can miss some games, perhaps. Have the Eagles done enough at this moment? For the I guess for the PR part of it, have the Eagles done enough to DeSean Jackson at the moment?
I'm gonna go first. What he did was dumb. It was stupid. At the time that we're at right now, the mixed signals of where Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on in this country, that was dumb. Him being penalized, take money out of his pocket. But being suspended, I don't think that's necessary, due to the fact we had this happen, and I mentioned it before with Michael Vick situation, the conversation that we had. Riley Cooper said something that was disturbing to a lot of Americans don't like. Some Americans do like. I mean, it is what it is.
And in a heinous tone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he was given a 5-year extension the next week.
Yeah.
So if we're going to talk about comments and measure comments to comments, then why are we not talking about let go Drew Brees, where he said what he said about Black Lives Matter and didn't get the whole point with his? I mean, I know it has nothing to do with the Eagles, but like, why is everybody on the uproar? Everybody's going to make mistakes. I understand that. And everybody does. I make mistakes. I'm a father. I'm 35 years old. I have 3 kids. I make plenty of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not perfect. But one thing I do know is I know who I am. And I'm pretty sure DeSean Jackson knows who he is. And everybody on this panel right now, to you, Puga, Herm, Gail, Prime, you guys, my brothers, we're Eagles. We're Eagle fans. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? We know what it is. But, people make accidents. Mistakes. It happens.
Yeah.
But to find him, I'm great with that. It's fine. But the people, for people out there saying that he should get cut, or come on. We're going to ignore the fact that a lot of people say a lot of negative things about Native Americans, the Latino community, the Black community. And there's no, hey, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole thing. But it was a definitely dumb thing to say.
Yeah.
That's my piece. And, I respect each one of you on this panel. So
Absolutely. The way I look at it is that, like, it's not something that, like, but I agree with you, Tim, that especially considering the timing of where the world is right now, it's especially a hypersensitive topic. And I just think that, like, I think that a suspension wouldn't be completely out of the realm of acceptance. I think that, like, not a full season suspension, but I mean, when you look at it, and I completely agree with you it was nonsense and infuriating when Riley Cooper got that extension. And I think that Riley Cooper should have been cut from the team, and I'm glad that he never ended up getting a job after that. I don't understand personally. If I were in Mike Vick's shoes, and I'm also speaking as this as a white man, but if I was in Mike Vick's shoes, I don't know if I would have been so forgiving for Riley Cooper for that situation. I really don't. I don't know. It really speaks to the maturity of that Eagles locker room that they were able to move past that. I don't know if everybody actually did, but they got through the rest of the season. When it comes to the DeSean Jackson thing, I feel like it's something that is it's something that's offensive and needs to be addressed. Like, he needs to completely understand that that's not okay. Like, you can't be quoting Hitler in any context of it. And I think that I don't want to see him cut from the team. I want to see him monetarily fined. I also want to see, and I think that he is going through the efforts right now of proving to people that he wants to educate himself. He wants to understand the other side. I think that's the big piece of it. I want to see a major effort made to really right his wrongs. I think that's what ultimately people would be accepting of.
Shout out to Sam, who just joined us in the on the show. Sam, I mean, how did you feel about the way DeSean Jackson has been penalized recently? Have they done enough?
It's been difficult to really quantify how hard this hit home. As a Jewish Eagles fan, you definitely got to do a lot of soul searching to separate from football, the true gravity of what he did is really bad. But I think it's important that he's really shown that he wants to atone for it. He really wants to make it. It seems like he really wants to make it right. It could all be lip service for all we know, but it seems like he wants to make it right. I think that's the most important part of it. As Evan said, if he puts in the effort, he goes, he talks to Julian Edelman, he goes to maybe visits a couple concentration camps in the off season when it's safer to do so. I think I'd like to think that he was just simply being ignorant about it. I think he was. I think his his apology shows that he realizes that he spoke and he quoted something that he really didn't understand how asinine what he was quoting really was, even though they weren't really Hitler quotes. But I think it's. I personally think that the guy who he was quoting, Louis Farrakhan, is a noted anti-Semite who hates Jews. He actually told a reporter that earlier this year he wanted God to send all of the Jews in Florida. He wanted them all to get corona. That is a legitimate thing. And this is who DeSean Jackson was quoting. I think that's the biggest problem is people quoting people who they might not really understand where their loyalties lie.
Yeah, I think that was that.
I think that, like I said, I think the most important thing is that he's going to show that he's trying to learn from this. If he does all that stuff, they're going to find it. They find him monetarily. I really wouldn't be against them suspending him if they did so. I don't think they will now, but it's important that he learned.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that Julian Edelman reached out and then kind of like
that. Yeah.
came across and said, you know what, we'll go to this museum. You'll bring me to this museum. We'll kind of talk about it. I think at the end of the day, having a discussion about it, a true discussion, not like a quote tweet, or a story or whatever. Like having a real discussions. That's the kind of thing that's missing from, anyone could, he says he didn't mean what he meant. Like having a real discussion about these things would be the best thing to, do.
Yeah.
I thought it was important that real quick. I thought it was important that Wentz, posted on Twitter that he reached out personally to DeSean Jackson. He didn't drag anything through the media. I like that he's probably reached out to him personally to offer his feelings on the situation as well. I think that's just so important. You don't want any drama coming from this more than there already was.
So the thing I look at it is like it could be frustrating in so many ways because I think I saw somebody bring up a topic. I think his name was Paul about how these NFL players or sports guys just in general, the athletics in this world getting schooled on society and stuff like that. But let's be real, nobody prepares for the shit that comes our way nowadays. Nobody was prepared for the COVID. Nobody was prepared for, what happened, with the cops and everything like that. Nobody was prepared for none of this shit. So it's just like it's kind of hard, to like put that pressure on these athletes and everything like that. But right now, there really isn't anything else to do. So DeSean coming out and making that quote or quoting somebody, it was stupid. It was dumb, but I don't really think that his intentions were to go directly at anybody. I think it was just like, going back to what people were saying, he just wasn't educated on that. He just saw the first thing that, that came to mind and he used that. No, I don't feel like he should be suspended. Yes, fined, absolutely. I'm not going to play the comparison game. I mean, shit, we let that man years ago get away with practically murder the way he reacted. And then, look, we rewarded him, like they said, him with a 5-year contract the very next week. You know what I mean? So it was just stupid. Like a smack. Yeah, it was smacking the hand. It was a smack in the hand for him.
Yeah.
And with DeSean, again, I agree with him being fined. I don't agree with him being suspended. He's made attempts. Look, he just got finished having an interview with the 94-year-old Mr. Mosberg. He spent time. Like, I see that it's really in him to go ahead and really fix this as best as he can. We could go play the blame game like what Drew Brees said, what all these guys other said. And we're not attacking these guys, and DeSean here is getting attacked. So it sucks, It's like you get stuck in the middle where like, wait a minute, hold up, you're gonna be one way with one person and then be another way with another person.
Yeah,
like it just the system right now is.
But to follow up on that prompt, but that's the way everybody is, and I'm not trying to play the race game or anything like that. But when a black person says something, we get held to a different standard, and it's always been like that. No matter what you do, but you can have, the general leader of the United States come out and say the most darndest things, and you're like, what is going on? And it's fake news. And
it's crazy, man.
To follow that, like DeSean Jackson, what he said was super ignorant. But think about what black people we go through it every day. We go through it every day. I'm gonna tell you what. Like I told you, I'm 6'2", 270 pound black man. When I pull up around my neighborhood, I get pulled over all the time. I got pulled over about 6 times this last year. And every time they say something, oh, you must play for the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, for real, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like,
you should just say yes. They'll probably let you go.
But like, I hate to play the risk card with it. But like, I know, right? I should say I'm a middle linebacker, but I cannot stand the Cardinals. But it's just,
That
It
shouldn't even
sucks,
be
bro.
said, though. I mean, that's
Yeah,
racist
it
in itself.
sucks.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, it sucks.
And
However
it's-
you look at it, it
But it's
sucks.
always been like that.
And
Yeah.
building
Always
off
been like that.
And building off Prime's point, I truly, and how DeSean reacted to the whole situation, all the fallout that's come from it, I truly don't believe that DeSean Jackson was trying to be like an offensive. I get that that's hard to like comprehend because of the person that was involved and who he was quoting, but I don't think that DeSean was trying to. For lack of a better term, be offensive. Where when I look at when I actually watch the Riley Cooper video and I see what he said, like that, there's no way you can slice that to where like you can say, oh well, he wasn't trying to be like an aggressive douchebag. That's exactly what he was.
Well, for what you're saying that though, you seen pure hate in that man's face when he said that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A lot of people on Twitter, Eagle fans were like, oh well. He didn't really mean it like that.
I know, and that's a separate issue in itself.
You know what they said. The two people that always tell the truth: little kids and drunk people. We know that. You know
Exactly.
Like but it's like you gotta turn the head when somebody says something about somebody.
I like to have a drink.
We need positivity and we need to get together and face what is going on.
Yeah.
But for what DeSean did and what he said was unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Now, when things are already getting weird, they got a little bit weirder when news broke. As he considers punishment for wide receiver DeSean Jackson's anti-Semitic remarks, Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie makes the meaning of Hitler his first film documentary. Now, if you're talking about just one of the weirdest timing. What is going on? As Eagle fans, we are dealing with this.
Dude,
many things.
I'm not even kidding, Gail. When I read that article, I straight up heard the Twilight music in my ear. It's like, what the hell's going on?
I'm gonna say one thing. Money talks.
Yeah,
money talks.
So we
all know that.
Do you think this was like the perfect, there was some conspiracy thing behind this? Because there's always conspiracy theories.
Yeah, but why would DeSean agree to assassinate his own character for Howie? I'm sorry, for Jeff Lurie's benefit.
Timing was weird.
So, was there where are the conspiracy theories in here?
Don't get me started. I don't want to bring my conspiracy nutcase theories to this fine panel.
I just think everybody's spidey senses went off when that happened. You were like, dude, something is. I don't know. It's just weird.
Definitely weird.
It's just weird. It's just weird. Are you guys gonna watch that movie though?
But money talks though.
I'll watch it.
It's funny, dude.
I don't watch nothing to do with anything with Hitler. I don't watch it. And I lived in Germany.
You lived in Germany?
2 years.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a no watch for me.
Schindler's List was it for me.
Yeah. And The Boy in the Striped
it.
Pajamas. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. That was a classic.
That was it. Schindler's List was it for me.
Now, we're gonna move off from DeSean Jackson. Like, if we're thinking about positive vibes right now, on this roster, which wide receiver is going to be the next vertical threat that we can depend on? Which Carson Wentz can depend on. Looking at this group, we have Jalen Reagor, we have Quez Watkins, we have. Jonathan Hightower. Shout out to Jay Doss who does all this artwork. We're gonna have him for an interview as well. He does a lot of this artwork for a lot of the players as well. But who's gonna be that next vertical threat in this offense? I mean, Marquise Goodwin is gonna be here. Well, we don't know for how long. But who's gonna be that next wide receiver?
I really hope. First of all, speaking on the Marquise Goodwin thing, I really hope that we get a full season out of a vet guy that we're bringing in like that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like between
you shouldn't be expecting anything more than that from him, though. You can't expect anything.
Gooey cheesesteak. We're gonna get 6 to 8 games.
That's what you think? 6 to 8 games. That's it.
Yeah, 6
Man,
to 8 games.
Out of Marquise.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at the guys like Mike Wallace.
Hightower's gonna have an impact.
Mike Wallace with the worst injury history.
Yeah, no, I think John Hightower is a guy that is like kind of being slept on among those rookie wide receivers.
Well, I think
you could get Hightower to return kicks.
Right, and I also
Early
want
on.
to talk about his number. Number 80. That's kind of smooth. That's kind of
You
smooth.
like
for
the
a
80?
skinny guy. It's kind of smooth. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah.
I like the 80 on a skinny guy. I like that.
We know who Gail's guy is. So
Jalen Reagor, man.
yeah. I mean, the vertical on that kid.
42 inch, bro. 42 inch. Yo,
Yeah, that's some serious jump for that man.
like I really feel like Jalen Reagor, man. He brings a lot of versatility. Like, look at how many guys on this roster who can on this roster can do what Jalen Reagor does all around. Punt return, play the slot. It can play outside, inside. Take a jet sweep to the house. Who on this roster right now can give you that kind of versatility?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think anyone other than Jalen.
That's what I'm saying.
Outside-
I mean, the guy who did that for us last year was Nelson. So, and now that he's gone, thank God.
And he did that at a very, very, very light rate.
Yeah, very minimal.
And Gail, I saw earlier today, Gail, I saw you share some a Twitter post where you're talking about it was all the rookie wide receivers that got drafted in the first round, and I think it was how many contested catches they had in college, or was it last season or their entire college careers? Or?
I think it was all college.
Yeah, I'm actually going to bring it up for you.
So, who ended up topping that list out of all those players? Who was number one?
Hightower, please be Hightower.
No, it was Rager 27, right?
Reagor?
Oh,
I'm
Reagor?
actually going to
Above CeeDee Lamb.
He had a terrible quarterback situation. So
I
Well,
know.
that's why. I mean, if your quarterback's that
everything's
bad,
a
you're going
contested
to be making a lot of catches all over the place.
So I mean,
you're like, hey guys, right here.
here's the list there. We have let's see here.
You just look at that
Dude,
vertical, though, man. Is it?
42-inch vertical. But Jalen Reagor had 27 contested catches. These are the first round wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb had 21, Justin Jefferson 19, Jerry Jeudy 13, Henry Ruggs 12, and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Ruggs is so low because he was just so much faster than everyone else.
At the end of the day, man, his quarterback play at TCU versus Carson Wentz. I mean, come on, man, that's a huge difference.
Terrible, dude. I remember watching a couple TCU games. Never bet on TCU, by the way. Bad idea. But that QB was something awful, man. Something awful.
We wanted to open up questions to the chat. If you guys had any questions, or you want to change the topic, now would be the perfect time to do so, as we're nearing towards the end of the show. It's always interesting.
Are we Rager homers? Are we putting too much respect on Rager's name?
Damn, you hate
That is our first round pick.
I mean,
Bantram.
Are we supposed to hate him?
That guy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Hold on.
no, but hey, but who before the draft told you we were going to pick him?
That's right.
Yeah, this guy. Okay, this guy. Okay. Shout out to Chris. If anybody knows, Chris has a really great YouTube channel. He's dropping heat out there. Chris, if you want to drop a link to your YouTube channel, he's doing a lot of great work on YouTube. Oh, just announced. Washington.
Yeah, that is official. I just went and checked.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
They are going to be in the Washington, formerly known as the Redskins, are going to be announcing their new team name moving forward tomorrow.
Hey, Washington Warriors, son.
Washington Warriors?
I say Red Bull.
I said Washington Warriors.
I saw that.
Then they keep the same
Red.
logo.
That's as close as they're going to get, bro.
Yeah, this is Chris's YouTube channel, Eagles News Now on YouTube. There's a lot of great work on there.
Red ponytails?
But
Check that out.
the red tails,
Check
red
that
tails.
out.
The red tails. That's what I meant to say.
What
Red
is it, the
tails.
WNBA? What's y'all-
Washington Red Tails, bro.
The Red
They
Bull.
gotta
Bullets.
change the logo.
I've heard the bullets
I
being
like
thrown out
those.
there.
Yo, the
You think
Bulls
they're gonna do bullets again after the
You're
NBA?
gonna, you gotta listen. You gotta understand. They gotta
Down the
try to keep
sleeves.
this thing as close as possible because trying to change the logo in
It's gonna be
at
hard.
this time, it's gonna be
Think
hard.
think about being
I
a
think they're gonna
Redskins
keep it
fan,
with something
and
red
like you
and
got
red on
to
there.
retool all your memorabilia. Like you got to
Well-
go get all new everything.
Well,
if you're a
hey,
Redskins
well, I
fan.
got a
You should-
question.
Billions of
So,
dollars.
so hold on.
Billions.
This is a joke. This is a joke, but I just want to really know the answer to this. Let's say they went with the Red Tails. Is that going to start another controversy?
Right.
Because you know what I mean? For real, is that going to start another controversy, bro?
Oh, well, the red tails was
Nah.
wasn't the
They were the
black-
Tuskegee Airmen.
yeah the
Yeah, but they were the Red Tails.
Isn't that WNBA?
Man, Chris brings up a good point. The DC Defenders name, they could have bought that. Washington Defenders.
Nah, 'cause if you-
Well,
Right.
I think Evan brought up a great point, and it kind of hits home. You know, my grandfather, he was in the Marines back in the 50s and was stationed out in Virginia, and the only football team that he was able to watch at the time was the Redskins, and he's been a Redskins fan ever since. Now he's in his late 80s, and I got to explain to him, hey, you might want to take down
Not wear
your stuff, you know.
So here's another question. They go with a different name.
And come
Does
to the
that
dark
s-
side.
But wait, does that start all over for them? Like,
What do you mean?
technically-
So they
Like,
don't have any
they're-
Super Bowls? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
I
They're
got what you're
starting
saying.
off with zero, right?
Look at these bums at the bottom of the
The
division.
Redskins. The Redskins. Synonymous for those 3 Super Bowls.
So because they changed their name, they start off with zero.
Washington.
I got so many no Super Bowl jokes
Red
I've heard
Tails
over the
were
years that I
badass.
could repackage
Oh,
for
we got
Redskins fans.
No, I don't like that.
I'm being serious. Is that a serious question? I want to see how these. I know Redskins fans. I got my cousin who's a Redskins fan. Oh my God, me and him go back and forth. I would love to really just get the answer to that. Do you start off with zero now?
They should
Facts.
just level the stadium
Well,
and
give
completely
kids
start
an
from
edge,
scratch.
Now,
Bro,
Brett from Facebook. Brett from Facebook has a question here.
Who's going to be the
Who's going to
difference
be the
maker?
difference maker?
So if they have to start over, does the Los Angeles? Well, it used to be St. Louis. Now they went to Los Angeles Rams. Do they start over?
No,
Nah,
no,
because it's
No,
the
they're still
Rams.
They're
They
still
don't-
They're
the
still the Rams.
They were the LA
They're
Rams
still the
before
Rams.
too. Before they moved to
No. Think about
Right?
it. No, think about it. Think about it. They play in USC's house. They don't play in Los Angeles. They play in USC's house.
But they're still the Rams, bro.
They play in USC's house.
Let's
I
answer.
understand,
Let's
but they're
answer
still
the
the
question, Brett.
No, that's St. Louis's champion.
You got to. Sometimes you got to mute a brother's mic here. Brett says, "Who's going to be the difference maker this year?"
That guy.
You know who it's going to be? It's going to be big play Slay, man. Locking down teams' wide receivers, having a guy that can keep the other team. Like if we can keep the opposition like in the teens at the highest in games and have our offense go out there and score 21 plus points a game, that's a formula that we can abide to with this defense and this offense. I think Darius Slay is going to be the one pulling that train on the defensive end of the ball.
Who do you got, Tim?
I got Slay. Sorry, bro. I think Slay is going to be the difference maker on this squad, bro.
Another Slay.
And I know I'm going to get heat about it because I said what I said last episode. But I think Slay's going to be it.
Now, Prime, who you got?
You really want to know?
Oh God.
White snake.
Where you going with?
I'm going with the white
Nick,
snake.
get it.
Put him in the bathroom.
Put me in the bathroom, man.
I'm not gonna even. Poogle, who you got? Who's your
Nate's gonna eventually see this.
You know
bro.
who I'm really
Nate's
excited
gonna
to
see this. Watch.
I'm really excited to see what Miles Sanders can do coming back. I think if he can come back even 10 times better than what he was last year, as explosive as he was last year.
Would you say
and
Miles
if he can
Sanders?
You say 10
Yeah.
times?
You said Miles
Yeah,
Sanders?
yeah. Yeah.
What's he
If
gonna
can
get?
come
10,000 yards
Oh,
this year?
definitely.
back- yeah, no, hey, sky's the limit with him, man. Sky's the limit. But I think Miles Sanders is going to be
Hey,
difference
okay,
maker.
so on that, on that situation, just to close it, do you think he's going to be like another Christian McCaffrey? Do you think he can follow in those footsteps and hold our offense like that?
He's got the ability to.
He's got the ability to.
He's effective in the running game and the passing game. So, right
I
there,
just don't think they'll
I'm
ever.
sorry.
I don't think they'll ever let him.
But I think he can.
I don't think they'll ever let him.
I think he can be Christian McCaffrey 2.0, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, he definitely has the potential, and that's why I think with the way he was playing last year at a high level, if he can come back and maybe not play 10 times better, but maybe play enough to make even more of a bigger difference to help out Wentz and the offense. I think obviously sky's the limit with this team.
So I totally agree. Based off of last year's roster, yes, but this year's roster, I don't know. It's just it's too much. It's too much talent to actually see that man like do that much on his own. So that's the only reason why it would be hard to like give you my whole agreement on that. Like, but I don't doubt it. I mean, Miles.
Didn't you say White Snake was going to be the biggest difference maker?
I'm going off of what he said, man. Mind your business.
On the defense, that many playmakers on defense. My guy is. I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. I just think
You go Miles?
Yeah, I think. I mean, you just saw the tipping. Like last year was, he's a rookie, dude.
Yeah.
Give him one more year on top of that. I mean,
realistically speaking, if Miles Sanders comes in here and like we're expecting Miles to have a serviceable season where he's really good, right? Suppose Miles comes in here and has like an MVP contender type of season and just like
that's what's
pops
up.
off. That I mean, you want to talk
tell
about
you, Christian McCaffrey, bro. He is, bro. I'm telling you. Imagine with our deep threat, DeSean, Marquise for 6 to 8 games, and then
if we have a top 5 running back with these wide receivers,
bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Now, Dash Frank has a question. Who will start at center in 21-22?
Isaac Seumalo. That's my answer.
I ain't saying all that.
I mean, he's the next in line.
Rookie.
Yeah, I think a rookie will.
It's funny.
Exactly. I think a rookie. Salamalu is better at guard, bro. I like him at guard.
There's a guy coming out next year
as a lineman and trying to learn multiple positions.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's
I
tough.
think it'll be a rookie.
Well, yeah, that is one thing that I am in favor of is like as much as I like a guy that's versatile and can cover multiple positions on the line, I feel like there really is something like I feel like there really is something.
You know who was my favorite lineman that was versatile, and I mean, yeah, he messed up the year before. Was Sid Winooski. He was my favorite. I loved Sid. He had that nastiness to him.
Yeah,
I liked him. I really did, and the Young Bulls beat him out, so he ended up going to the Chiefs and win the championship again. But he was a good veteran I can put in place. Yes, he did get JP hurt that game and getting Carolina, right? Was that Carolina game? He got JP hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was responsible.
It don't take much for JP to get hurt.
Yo, come on, man. Put respect on my man's name. Come on, man. But I like Steve, man. I really liked him, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a rookie.
Is Kelsey the best center in Eagles history?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well,
what other center did we ever talk about?
I've never heard of this.
Shout out to Mark. He says, "Do you think there will be fans at the NFL games this season?"
Limited capacity.
Yeah, 25. I think everyone's going to end up following that 25% guideline Ravens and Jaguars came out with last week.
Shout out to Paul from Facebook. He says, "How many games will be done this season?"
All of them. I think all of them.
I think we're going to have a full season.
Wow,
I really do.
No, the way that you're saying it with your chest is like so.
My thing is
adamant.
this, though. My thing is this.
So I'm hopping back on Gale.
You can tackle for 60 minutes, but you can't trade jerseys.
Yeah, that to me was pretty questionable.
Like,
Very
what is
stupid.
that?
Very
What is
stupid.
that?
That's corporate. That's corporate NFL for you.
But as far as them getting through the whole season, I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I'm feeling on the whole situation.
Now,
I think the season will start. I don't know if it'll finish.
Now, Paul has a direct question for Puga. Puga's already got fans everywhere. What's your thoughts on the possible exciting news from the Eagles?
I think it's going to be Clowney. I mean, he hasn't signed on with anybody. There's obviously, from what I've read, that he's looking for to play for the Eagles. I think is what was said, if I'm not wrong. But I think it is going to be Clowney, and I wouldn't mind. I know a lot of Eagles fans. I think you guys touched on it earlier that are still salty about the hit on Carson Wentz.
Oh my god!
But I think we gotta put that behind us because I mean having him on our team is definitely gonna be killer. So we'll see. I think it's coming.
The ladies might be onto something because those words made me moist, gang. I'm not gonna lie, man. We're getting Clowney.
Yeah, I was over here
Hey, the chat has said, you all forgot about Hank Fraley.
We're not allowed to use that word moist, man.
Yeah, no, I really do think just talking about the whole jersey swap thing, it makes zero like they're like that to me seems like is it like a PR thing where they're like this is our effort to like curb coronavirus. Like you just had these guys tackling each other for a full hour. They're rubbing bodies up on each other, and you tell me they can't take the shirt off and exchange it at this point? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They can't do it on live TV, but
I'm telling you, when I seen that, I said,
"Yeah, no, it'll happen in the locker room." So they'll have somebody from a team run their jersey to the other locker room.
That's
whatever.
all, man.
Or they'll do it on their own time. They'll do it after the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Send it in the mail. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast. What was and Dr. David Chow, the
injury guy.
Yeah, injury. He made a good point about the coronavirus. It's really about the amount of time that you spend in the situation. So like during like every contact play, it's like 2 seconds that you're with a person.
So don't end up on the bottom of the pile.
You have more chances of being if you're in a situation where you're next to somebody for like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour
for the fumbles at your own risk
in a closed atmosphere, but out on a field in an open space.
Do you think you'll get that one guy who actually sees the fumble?
Do you think DBs are going to be acting different? They're going to be pushing the shit out of people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to see that one
somewhere
guy
out there? Josh
like,
Norman is still trying to fight people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to see that one guy who's literally going to just stand back?
What about huddles?
Like, oh, look at the ball.
Yeah. And he actually mentioned that
standing shoulder to shoulder.
He actually mentioned that on the podcast. He said that you'll have more opportunity to catch coronavirus in a huddle than you will getting tackled.
Damn.
So
back to the hurry up offense.
No huddle offense.
Do you think it's possible that the NFL explores something similar to the NBA in like having like a bubble, putting the players in a bubble and trying to execute a season that way?
I think so.
And first of all, let me just say, first of all, prayers up to all the guys that got girlfriends working in hotels down in the NBA hotels down in Florida. Prayers, man. Good luck. I wish you guys the best.
You know they're on their phone. You know they're on their phone for all the girls in there.
Prayers to this and prayers to the barbers. Because
To the what?
know everybody that's on there
The
going
barbers.
to TV, like, yo, I gotta get mine up. I gotta get my beer trim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah, the whole Orlando economy is about to be popping with the entire NBA chilling there.
Now, are the Sixers going to take it home? Is the biggest question.
Ooh.
I'm really eager to see how this break is going to affect all these teams that had momentum.
I think they got the
Hey,
chance,
hold that T-shirt up again. So let them know.
Okay.
Sixers all day, bro.
Yeah,
All
boys.
day.
Here we come.
What's one thing? Can Ben get a jump shot?
It doesn't matter about Ben's jump shot, man. He's dominant no matter where he's at, dude. He can get to the rim whenever he wants.
At least he's healthy. At least they're both
jump
healthy now.
shot.
That's all we needed.
Yo, Ben's my man, 50 grand. I got his jersey right there. I need a jump shot. I need something. I need a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but at least he's catching fish, though. Have you seen you saw the fish that Ben Simmons caught?
I saw that he couldn't. I saw that he couldn't shoot it back into the water.
A little small, right? A little small.
See,
Now,
that's why you got a jumper.
He's out there catching bait.
Can't catch bigger fish, man.
Did any of you guys have any last words before we take off? Tim, any last words?
Man, hey, I appreciate you guys letting me on the pod again. I love all you guys. Respect.
Likewise.
Positivity, man. Let's keep that going, yo.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity is gonna be everything that we got. We're gonna make it through this, and we're gonna have a season. But positivity is everything. Shout out to your families and shout out to all your loved ones. All right, be safe, stay healthy,
Yeah.
blessed.
I'm gonna speak off of King there and just I know that there's all these different, there's a bunch of different movements going on right now. All of them are obviously long overdue, but he's right. We got to get the world more positive right now. There's way too much negativity going on right now. Let's get some positivity on the timelines, people. Like we're all in for fighting all of these causes that need to be fought for, but at the same time, let's keep our mental stability. Let's stay happy. Go out there and do something to entertain yourself, make yourself happy at least once a day.
Prime?
Yeah, man. I can't really say much more than what these two guys already touched upon. It's just about staying safe. Look forward to the news about signing JP this week. You know what I mean?
He's such a Debbie Downer.
So, hey, bro, it only goes up from here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna stick to that. All right.
Can't have
I mean,
the hopes up that high, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everybody staying, tuning in and everything like that. Always look forward to these Sunday dinners with you guys. So, let's keep this thing going. And, let's welcome JP back in good form this week. All right.
Sam?
Always good to hang out with everybody on the pod. Again, looking forward to the Eagles signing LeSean McCoy this week.
Man, come on, son.
Yeah, you see me?
Hey, you keep your expectations. You keep your expectations low.
Exactly.
You keep your expectations low. You're never disappointed, guys.
Exactly.
It's a pleasure.
Cool, good.
Again, thanks for having me on. I enjoy this time with you guys. Again, we got to keep positive. We're almost through it. Football season's almost here, and I think that's what we all need. I think we all need a little bit of Eagle football to make us feel a whole lot better than what's been going on the past couple of months. And hopefully this week will bring some good vibes, and let's see who the Eagles bring in.
Yeah, I mean,
From July 27th.
From the Corona capital of the world, wear a goddamn mask.
Yeah.
Here they come. Go Sixers.
I'm just hopeful this week we'll get some real, like we had some rocky weeks as Eagle fans the last couple of weeks. It'd be very nice to have some great news, bring in either a potential playmaker on the defensive line. I hope, but I think you guys out there, everyone that's being quarantined or just not able to go out and visit their friends. Hopefully, the quarantine stream allowed you to have some laughs, allowed you to talk some Eagles with some diehards, like you want to do at a local bar or something. Hopefully, the quarantine stream allows you to do that.
Hey, you are my bar. I live in Arizona, hot spot. You are
yeah,
my
man.
bar.
I live in Florida. I feel you there.
So I just appreciate all.
We're getting
Yeah,
killed.
We got all three hot spots: Texas, Florida, and Arizona.
I appreciate all you guys coming to the stream, joining in the chat. The commentary is always awesome. You always are spicy in the chat. Also adds a lot to the stream. But I just want to thank you guys for joining, and we will see you guys in the next one. Till then, fly,
Eagles fly.
Eagles fly.
No bird.
Birds.